following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Kev, do I just cut the tip of this? I think I'm going to gig during our bunkhouse segment today. I think it would be unexpected to get a little color.
What are you having, a bris? What?
Rabbi.
Brother.
I just take a sliver of this, right?
Yeah. No, you cut it like a just cut the end of it, like so you have like a triangle.
The corner, and then just the blade. Oh, hi everybody! I didn't realize you were here. Kind of dropping in unexpectedly like that, aren't you? Here for Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. As promised, we're going hard with that bunkhouse stampede today, so I just wanted to make sure. Kevin brought up possibly getting color, maybe the first guy ever to get color on a podcast, and I figured I would do that since I'd never done it. You learned from Barry Windham. I learned from Kevin Nash.
Nice.
Where did you hide your gig? That's another decision you have to make when you're going to
I think that's why every wrestler has tape on their wrists.
Well, but I know some guys would put it in their mouth.
Come on.
Oh, please. I couldn't imagine working a match, getting smacked in the face, and you got a gig bouncing around your teeth. Clearly, a lot of wrestlers didn't worry about the dental plan.
Or or passing that through their colon.
Right, exactly. Or
I'll tell you a funny story.
Go ahead.
One time I think it might have been the Halloween Havoc that me and Scott had, and I got him outside and I worked his body with body shots, and we went to one of the FX guys and said, hey, can you make us some fucking like some Caro syrup and fucking like red dye, like blood capsules. So we get in the back and the guys are like, fuck man, what'd you guys use? Did you guys like draw blood, put it in a condom? And we're like, no, we fucking use Caro syrup. What the fuck are you? No, you kicked your tongue? No, we used fucking blood capsules, you fucking marks.
So you had mouth bleed during the match?
And he put a bunch in his mouth, and he had him we had him hidden in the corner of the mat. So when he sold over there, they were by the steps. He put him in his mouth, and I went to work on him. And while I was working on him, he fucking was spitting blood out.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you kept it in your wrist tape. Hogan would drop Hogan would keep it in the tape. He would gig, and then he would drop it in his tights, loosely bouncing around. You talked about the bris, but that's another danger.
See, I would always retape it, and I would always make sure that the referee had a backup.
I heard that, yeah.
I always make sure the referee had a backup. Because a lot of times you go too long and the shit will drive, you don't go deep enough. That's why these fuckers go coast to coast,
Right.
Murray used to watch Abdullah the Butcher fucking take those long fucking Q-tips and fucking clean like those crevices in his fucking forehead.
Yeah.
After the matches, and it's just like, I'm like, God. Like,
yeah, he clearly had the worst roadmap, right?
Yeah, I guess fucking pussy is just not even like on his mind, right?
Well, he had 3 on the top of his head.
Right, 23. Look like a fucking Klingon fucking vagina or something.
New Jack's was pretty fucking bad too.
Yeah.
They say if you go like with I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. If you go like with the grain.
Because eventually, like now in my life, like I've got fucking, look at that. Like I got fucking lines. I mean, if I had gigs in there, you can't tell that's a gig I'm just an old fucker.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm old because I didn't get fucking hepatitis from gigging too deep.
It's a miracle that more guys, those fucking mats are filthy, right? By the third match, it's a horror show. Not only the dirt, but you've got other people's blood on there and stuff. It's a miracle you didn't hear more guys getting stuff from bleeding.
Well, I think anybody that can fucking, like, most guys wore the same trunks for like 20 straight days. So, it was just like, the least of their worries was, the least of their worries was that mat they're occasionally hitting.
That's good. Your opponent might have a little penicillin on his balls that you can rub if you get infected. You know, we should. I'm going to give you the full list of number ones that we are. Now, we always say, oh, thank you, England, you made us number one. Thank you. And we leave people out. We do. So I went on before, and this was as of yesterday, last night. This is where we're number one. The number one wrestling podcast. We're in various places for sports and overall, actually, but consistently with wrestling. Number one in the United States, number one in Great Britain, Canada, Australia, France, Belgium, where you got your painting.
No, that's Czechoslovakia.
Oh, sorry. Poland. Are these all places you've worked, by the way? Because these are all people who have made the Kevin Nash podcast number one. Did you work Belgium?
I think Brussels.
Okay. Poland?
No, but I've worked my pole a few times.
Israel?
Yes.
Panama?
No.
You're number one in Panama. Very big with the extended Noriega family. Nicaragua, number one.
I've been there.
Okay. Cayman Islands, number one.
I've been there.
Make a little deposit. How about number two? Croatia.
Wow.
Can't nail number one in Croatia yet. I should look at what the show is that is number one in Croatia that we have to usurp.
Fixing your T-72.
And Peru. Number two in Peru also. We actually shouted them out when we were talking about the coca leaf the other day.
Yes, we give a Peruvian shout out.
That didn't catapult us to the top spot.
I probably dropped us a spot. We're trying to get away from that, you assholes.
So true. Show feedback. We always tell everybody that you will be always a part of us, a part of our show, on our minds always. TXC, never thought I'd be out on a walk laughing my arse off that you and real Kevin Nash are talking about Viking longboat-sized turds, but here we are. It's truly a golden age we live in. Yes, go back to, which one was that? We were covering Nash cutting up anything.
Yeah, we're talking about the sane product that was after
right.
Flair's thing, because you and I had discussed the.
Yeah, you know what? I had a fan on Twitter ask what that colon cleanse product was, so I was happy to share it with them.
Nice.
We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get some photos of that. Chris Pantaleo. There are not many storytellers better than Nash. That's one smart person. Any interview with him is great. You got them all fooled, Kev.
It's the CTE.
Evan James. I've always liked real Kevin Nash, but after listening to his new podcast, Kliq This podcast with Kayfabe Sean, I like him even more. Sean's cool, too. Like the show a lot. Thanks, Evan. Ayad Ali. Yeah, Kevin Nash has sung on this podcast more than any other episode he has. Yeah, that's right. You did a couple of numbers. You're going to have to get your game back up. People are paying attention. They want to hear you.
I had the shits last week, so I mean, I'm trying to make a rebound, represent Detroit.
But it was a perfect opportunity for a little Merle Haggard, I think, last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maynard Owens writes, Mick Foley also has a new podcast. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I find myself listening to this one first day of release. As good as Mick's podcast is, I tend to give it some days or skip episodes depending on the title. This one I never skip because Kev is such a good talker. Mick is too, but he tells it more in his on-stage comedy storytelling stuff. We heard some of that on stage when we were on stage. Mick did his run-in.
Mick's entertaining.
Mick is entertaining. Tim.
But a selfish lover. Foley, selfish lover.
Selfish lover.
Absolutely. He's a selfish lover.
Tim says, Kliq This podcast is the only thing that has gotten him through work this week. Hope you're not a federal judge. Barry Lindeff.
That and a couple of gaggers of meth.
Barry Lindeff, listening to this week's podcast, had to pull over from laughing so hard. I was crossing lanes on the interstate. In that serendipitous moment, I had $1 million idea. The jackknife poop knife, he says. You were talking about having because you're so OCD.
I actually saw that. I actually saw it. I think he put that on Twitter, but I think Diesel was holding the poop knife.
It was blue.
It was a blue plastic knife. I saw that.
Yeah. So
touche, my man. Thanks.
If you missed the episode, Kev was talking about having to cut up a long deuce every once in a while, the longboat, the Viking longboat. And Barry's working on a device that you can do that with. Don't use the same one to gig. You'll definitely get a staph infection. Mike Bow, I'm enjoying the show, and we align on pretty much all of these issues politically. You talked today about putting issues up to a vote, similar to ballot initiatives. Problem there is those in the minority don't have a path to progress. Because they're not voting, you mean? Because they don't go to the polls? Not sure.
I don't see how anybody that's
getting anything on a ballot is
it's how how well no let those old motherfuckers that are counting the days till they die, let them make the decisions.
Yeah. And they lie to us. That was the whole point. They lie to get in, and they don't follow through on the promises.
When I can't figure something out, especially like technology-wise, I usually go look for like an 86-year-old human.
20 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Right, for guidance, right, on how to, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Get your advice there. Anyway, it's funny. I'm in Florida. I was at, we do Disney several times a year, and I'm on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. It's the new ride in EPCOT. And it's a pretty long line, and we're standing there, and I'd been on it a couple of times. I'm not a roller coaster guy. I'm not like Foley. I'm not a thrill ride guy, but this one's very good. It's very cool. I recommend it. But so I'm there, waiting with my kids, waiting online to get on, some friends, and every once in a while, the 9-year-old needs some assurances. She's a thrill ride chick, but every once in a while, she's like, "Dad, is this cool? This one's safe?" I'm like, wouldn't be in the park if it was safe. I say that. A door fucking opens, an exit door, and coming the other way, they're pushing a guy on a wheelchair. He's doubled over. He's got those round sticker things that they put on you when they're going to attach stuff to you. Mm-hmm. He's got them gimmicks on. They were, "Clear the way, please. Clear the way, please. Nothing to see here." They're flying past me with this guy in the fucking wheelchair. His family's behind him, bawling, following the workers out the door. Now, I got to do this damage control because I've been on this fucking line an hour and a half. I'm not getting off it now.
Right.
So, so I have to be like, he obviously had a bad stomach. Lana, did you see him like this? Did you see him like this? He had a bad stomach. How's your stomach? Your stomach is fine, right? She's like, yeah. Wide-eyed for the rest of the ride. She's reading all the things on the top, like, "You must be in perfect health." Or she goes, "Dad, I'm in perfect health, right?" I'm like, "You are absolutely fine." Now, okay, so now that's a shot of the exit of the ride, I believe. And right after this ride, when you're wildly disoriented, by the way, we just got word that Cornette is #1 in Croatia, so we have some work to do. So the exit of the ride, you get off, you're already disoriented. They have you climb this massive staircase only to then climb one down. Someone fell the other day coming off the ride. They were dizzy and they fell and smashed their face and stuff. I do recommend the ride, but it's a bit of work.
There's nothing on earth worth that many steps in my life.
For me, it's the time. It's the time. Like when I'm on ride for an hour, I turn to my wife and I start. I get like, I'm like, "Honey, you
must make good coin. Fucking, it costs about $11,000 a day to fuck around in Disney."
Yeah, they're not playing around over there.
That's my motherfucking high dollars a motherfucker, man.
It's going to be more now that DeSantis took away their right to govern their own property, kind of function as a county independent of Florida is no longer.
Until that fucking surrounding county fucking gets that tax bill for $1 billion fucking dollars spread across a bunch of fucking $123,000 homes.
Yeah, true.
Good luck getting that vote.
Very true.
Smarten them fuckers up.
I came across something this week. It was a piece on actors that were high during famous films. Okay, 10 actors who actually weren't sober. I guess you're not allowed to say hi. Actually weren't sober. A very strange way to put that while filming. So I want to go over some of these. See if you would have recognized it. These incidents where this happened.
If one of them's Pineapple Express, I'm going to be really surprised.
That was Downey Jr., right? Wasn't it?
No, it was Seth Rogen and Frank.
Oh, Seth Rogen. What's the one I'm thinking of where Robert Downey Jr. Was in blackface?
No, he was fucking Thunder. Tropical Thunder?
Tropical Thunder, right. Okay. I don't know
That's
why
what Tom Cruise is that fucking character, man. It takes you a minute to figure out who the fuck he is. You're like, who the fuck is that?
Right. Joey King, stoned on the last day of filming The Kissing Booth 2 and 3.
Sorry, missed it.
Yeah. Let's see. Margot Robbie, she's talented. Listen, she's a talented one, that youngster. Margot Robbie did a few shots of tequila before shooting the nude scene for Wolf of Wall Street. Because she had to get loosened up a little bit where she lays on the floor, spreads her legs, and he climbs up in her. Gunnar Hansen, who played Leatherface, he revealed that he was high on weed during the entire filming of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Always good to handle a chainsaw around your crew.
Well, I'd be high. I mean, with the amount of fucking dialogue he had, so
maybe that explains the butterfly knife on the set of your film there. Yeah,
maybe that explains fucking Rock of Ages.
the
go there and stand. Cool.
Dash Duhamel? Josh Duhamel. Anyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spaceman. Accidentally smoked a real joint. I'm using that one someday. Oh, shit. It was the real one. It was the real butterfly knife. It was the real joint.
He was, I saw, what's the premiere of Dating Josh Hamilton or whatever the fuck it was? He was the star of that. Maybe he's been in 1,000 things, but it was just he's
Michael Rappaport.
Good actor.
Had to be sedated while filming a scene in True Romance. I feel like Michael Rappaport might have been high in more than that. But that motherfucker. I dig him, man.
Yeah, he's fucking. You know, I was watching that movie that Tom Hanks. He's Scully, and Rappaport's got the fucking cameo as the bartender. I'm thinking, see, that's the perfect place in life right there. Just a little, I like that life right there. That in for 2-3 days, boom, bam.
Yeah. Do like 3 days on 5 memorable films a year, right?
Yeah. True Romance, I think, is one of my top fucking 20 films.
Now, that was written by Tarantino?
I don't know. I know that Slater just fucking kills it. Arquette's great in it. Fucking Tony Soprano, the fucking Galifianakis is the fucking heel. She fucking tortures him I think she hits him with the hairspray or something, burns him.
Yeah, it was written by Quentin, but directed by Tony Scott.
Yeah, by far, I think that was Slater's best work ever.
Where's he now?
Probably they all get to, it's a fucking, that life is not, unless you're fucking hot and working all the time, it's like.
Bothered me that he did the Jack things, like so egregiously in the beginning. The Nicholson thing. The delivery of every line was just a little too much like Jack. And that's one that, there's a few you just can't, you shouldn't touch, right? Shouldn't touch Jack. Wesley Snipes was allegedly smoking weed the entire time on Blade Trinity.
I'll have to talk to Hunter on that.
What was it? What was he on it?
Yeah, Hunter was.
Okay.
Hunter was. That was the one with Ryan Reynolds, right? Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. Affirmative, Steve says.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton got extremely intoxicated for a big scene in Big Santa. Shocked about that. Anna Kendrick and Olivia Wilde drunk on the set of Drinking Buddies. I guess I don't have to say allegedly, right? Because they're admitting to all this. A lot of the cast of Dazed and Confused was high during filming. Okay.
Sweet.
Method. Denise Richards and Nev Campbell shared margaritas before filming a kissing scene in Wild Things.
How hot was she when she's fucking washing that Jeep and she, Jesus.
Nev?
No, it was Denise.
Denise.
That was the first time I ever saw her in a film. I remember just thinking to myself.
Oh yes. Yeah. No, I remember.
It's Wild Things.
Yeah. Wild Things.
She was washing Dylan's Jeep.
I couldn't place the movie for a minute. Now, in the ring, have you, who's the most intoxicated person you've ever been in the ring with? And if it's yourself, you can say yourself. I know you guys would pop.
Tommy Rich.
Oh, okay.
Tommy Rich, Savannah, Georgia. It was one of the few locker rooms back in the day when it was like heels and baby faces, and there was a kitchen in between the two locker rooms at the Savannah Civic Center. And they said, Tommy wants to talk to you. And I walked back here and he says, "Hey, listen, number one, big man, don't worry about anything. I fucking work drunk. You just do all your big man shit, man. You just fucking throw me around. Time comes right, my fucking wildfire fire up on your ass, make come back, you fucking hit me that finish. All right, we're good." I'm like, we went out there, fucking, he missed a step. He was fucking he was holding on to a fucking stainless steel fucking shelving as he was explaining what he was going to do to keep his balance. Fucking, he came through it. He came through the fucking curtain and started smacking hands, and it was like he was on his toes. I was like, that's an old school pro right there.
That's a pro, right?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Pro.
Anybody can work sober.
Now, you would wait till they kicked in and then go home, right? That was the thing with you and Sean.
The first time I remember, we were in the Royal Albert Hall, and I was Diesel, and this was when the drug test was hot and heavy, and we knew that they would never test us in a fucking country that didn't speak English. So we're finishing up. We're going to Austria and Germany next. So I we scored some hash. Let's go. So I'll have to go. I'll finish this story, but I'll have to go back to the next part. So, so we score some hash, and like Scott and Sean are like, "Let's get stoned, like up in the room before we go down." I'm like, "I don't know, man. I don't feel good about this." I said, "But just fucking wait till we, get to the building to make sure there's not fucking lab coats." It's fucking, man, we walk in, there's the lab coats. So we're like, oh. Walk in, we just walk, we can't wait to piss, we're pissing, Here's mine, thanks, bye. We go, we look around, we go down some stairs, we go into this room, and there's like fucking paper mache heads and all this different shit that they use for, different things in Royal Albert Hall. And we make a fucking little hash can, fucking poke holes in it. We're down there fucking, rifling this fucking hash. And, I go upstairs and I'm putting on my gear, and all of a sudden it's just like, whoa, fuck, man. Because hash is such a different, it's like a body buzz. It's not so much,
in the head.
Yeah, it's more fucking the butt. And I went out there, man, and I was so fucking stoned, but I was so fucking chill. And of course, Scott and Sean are after me, so I'm out. This is like early Diesel. I'm still with Sean, so I go out there, man, and I do fucking Shakespeare. I take my time. I'm just, I came back. They're both like, and they're stoned too. So of course they're like, "That's it, right there. You don't fucking work any other way but like that." And I'm like it's just like stoned, right? So we just need to get stoned every fucking night. Like that ain't gonna happen. But so the next day we're actually supposed to take a flight, and the IRA or somebody shoots like these fucking dummy missiles or some shit at Heathrow, and they close the fucking airport down.
Mm.
So I'm up in the morning, and I go down and eat breakfast. I come back upstairs, and I fucking hear some people talking at the front desk. As I'm going upstairs, I stop, turn around, and said, "What's going on?" I said, "They shot some missiles at Heathrow." So I go upstairs, put the fucking TV on. all flights canceled, blah, 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 blah. All these motherfuckers are running to get on the bus. And they're like, what are you three guys doing? I said, well, you ain't fucking, I'm not going to sit in fucking airport all day. I'll go walk around London and fucking hang out, So we still had some of that hash left. So me, Scott, and Sean, we go walking around London, and we go into this little tobacco shop, and we buy a pipe with a fucking screen in it. So we fucking go in the back, and we go down this alleyway, and, you got to get the fucking, hash hot, so you can fucking, so it'll crumble up in the fucking pipe. And Scott takes a hit, and he's on top of this shelf about this high. He's got the fucking hash like sitting up there. So about that time around the corner, fucking, we hear, what are you fucking doing? What are you pissing at what you're doing? It's a fucking Bobby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. So I step back, and he's talking to Scott. Scott fucking says, no, man, I'm just tying my shoe. And Scott's got this high-techs on. He's tying his shoes, and fucking he looks over at me, he goes, what are you doing? And fucking Scott, just with his hand, fucking just brushes the fucking hash off the top of that fucking thing, just poof, it's gone. So now I'm thinking like, and he's got a whistle in his hand. I'm thinking, if he's going to fucking blow this whistle, this isn't back when there was surveillance and shit. I'm like, should I clip this motherfucker?
Oh my God, really?
Like I'm thinking like in my mind, like, I'm stoned. I'm thinking, fuck, like Detroit came out of my ass, like, okay, like, good luck. I think we're going to get out of fucking Heathrow the next day, right? But actually, we flew out of Gatwick, so we probably would have been cool. We went right out. Then we stayed to this Holiday Inn in Kensington, and we went right down the street. There was a fucking a subway. I think they call it the Tube. And you could go directly to Gatwick, and you could check your bags right there. And we checked and went, I think we flew to Cologne or someplace like that. But
wait, speaking of riding the Tube, what did you tell him you were doing in the alley? So the hash has gone off the thing. Now, who's got the pipe?
Scott did.
Scott still has the pipe.
Yeah, but Scott already had put that in his waistband because we had a fucking fanny packs.
Right.
So he put it behind the fanny pack in his waistband. And when he turned around, Scott didn't panic,
So the officer just accepted that you were sucking each other's cocks.
He told us that he said, fuck off. Don't be pissing in the fucking alleyway. And we just walked up into the alleyway, and we're just like, I think we've had enough fun for fucking London. Let's go back and eat fucking some room service. Like, fuck this, man.
Would your celebrity overseas get you out of trouble like that?
Clipping a fucking Bobby?
Not clipping the Bobby, but having a bale of fucking hash in your fanny pack.
We got fired Vince would have fired us.
Even you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So
There's
Tommy Rich was the most loaded of anyone you'd been in the ring with, and he took care of you, right? So
yeah,
it was all right.
It wasn't like he was picking me up or anything.
Tommy Rich, I have a great Tommy Rich story. It's in Todd Gordon's book. It's going to be called Todd Has Got. It's a lot of great stories. Anyway, they're working in Buffalo, and he's on match like 6, and like 4 is in the ring, and he keeps asking Todd, what number's in the ring? Todd's like, 4's in the ring. You're up in 2. He's like, I got to run out, get some stuff. I guess he had, driving in, he didn't have time to stop in the hood in Buffalo, but I guess he scoped out where he thought he could make a good purchase. So he thought match 4 would be a good time to run out and do that. And Todd's like, can you just maybe during match 7 go out and take care of you? He said, no, I'll be fine. I'm fine. So he heads out, not back in time. So they make a switch. They have, Paulie sends a different match out, comes back in the Buffalo snow without boots or socks anymore. He comes back barefoot. Never gave an explanation as to what happened, but got in and worked that way. The Tommy Rich is a consummate pro.
You can't put a fucking hockey stick in those spokes, baby. Okay, pedal right through it.
Did you ever work Sandman? You never had to work Sandman.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
It's actually when we use the fucking stiff shot, he's in the corner of that shot.
Sandman?
Yeah, the graphic. When I'm like, that's Sandman right there.
Right. Stiff shot. Yeah, that is him. Oh, shit.
So I'm working Sandman, and we have like a hardcore match. I've never worked with him before in my life. Don't really know the guy, but I'd seen him on fucking, because I used to like watch that ECW on Sunshine.
Yeah.
When I was down here in Florida, I always thought it was good to get fucking stoned to. So Sandman does this fucking game. We get a ladder, and I'm laying on my side now. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? And all of a sudden he goes up to the top rope, and he gets the ladder. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna ride that motherfucker down on me. Like, how the fuck is that not gonna hurt? And all of a sudden, just like, wham! I'm like, motherfucker. Somebody's got to have that fucking, I think I get up and hit him with a fucking fire extinguisher. I kicked him. I was like, you motherfucker. Do you know how much money I made? Like,
yeah, that wasn't on Hack's mind there.
No, he was like, get over. He's like Abdullah the Butcher. Come in and beat somebody with a kendo stick. If you're going to beat him to death. Just get over, brother.
Hack, he was in a feud with Mick Foley in ECW, and Mick went to Todd and said, "Listen, I can't go out there if he's this loaded every night." So they told Hack, just drink after. Don't go to the ring load. So, of course, he gets in the ring and cuts the You're a Pussy promo before the match, which wasn't appreciated by anybody. But they work in the match. Todd's standing next to Paulie, and they eventually look at each other and go, this match sucks. They never asked him to work sober again.
Right.
You clearly got him after that. When did they start testing?
For what? Steroids?
In WWE. Yeah. Oh, no, not steroids. For illicit.
I came in 93 and there was absolute no tolerance for any cannabis or anything. You could if you didn't have a script for whatever was in your body as far as prescription drugs, you were fucked. And if you it was basically alcohol and pills if you had a script.
So, because I think probably around 92 is when that all started, and that would make sense then. So they tested everything. They tested pot, pills, obviously coke or anything like that, right?
Roids.
Roids, right? Yeah.
Roids was huge because
they were changing.
They were going through that steroid trial.
That was the scandal. Yeah, that was the trial time. So who are the road agents doing the testing?
No, fucking they bring in a D. Pascal.
Mauro Di Pascal, the doctor. Yeah,
he was the one in charge of it, and they did. It was very expensive too because they did like that. It was what was it called? No, it was some kind. It wasn't like a normal piss test. It was almost like it was like it was very expensive.
The way they processed.
Yeah, it was like the chance you get like if you back in the day was like dip your finger in bleach 15 times, let it dry, and then when you do your piss test, piss on your hand. Yeah, this wasn't going to work.
Right.
So
we're now. What about WCW now? So, when you get there
in 96,
yeah. Is there any testing?
Fucking spring break, baby.
Yeah. Okay. I guess. Yes, that wasn't happening in WCW.
Me and Scott's MO was we'd get to fucking Nitro, whatever arena we were in, we'd go to the fucking very, very, very top row. And if there was a door here and a door here, we'd sit right in the middle of it. And we'd go up there and fucking burn one. To start the, you'd be there at 11 o'clock. It's like, fuck, man, let's be stoned, especially if you knew you're not fucking working. It's like, let's just get stoned, and once fucking Mach and Hogan get here with the beer, we'll fucking start on that.
Right.
That was a great thing about about Hogan, man. Him and Mach, like, there was always fucking beer on ice in their room, in their locker room. So,
so the long production days you're talking about for WCW, these were for Nitros?
Yeah.
Had to be there at 11?
You had to be there at 11 for WWE.
For interviews?
No, just to fucking round your ass up and make you miserable.
I was going to say, you don't go on until fucking 8.
Well, you got to rewrite the show 37 times.
Yeah, well, so. Doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah.
Denmark. Let's go to Denmark for this
I'd
story.
rather go to the coastal cities, fucking Czechoslovakia, but
the coastal cities of Denmark. How about that?
All right, fine.
There are libraries where you can borrow a person instead of a book and listen to their life story for 30 minutes. I'm not lying about this. The goal, I guess how they got the money in the grant or whatever, they're a very progressive country, I guess, Denmark, was to fight prejudice. So each person has a title, like unemployed or refugee, bipolar. And you check out the person.
You know what Tom Petty said about the whole refugee thing, don't you?
Well, you don't have to live like one, I know.
Exactly. Okay.
But maybe Tom was the person behind the title refugee, and he just sang to you. But for 30 minutes, you listen to their story, and you realize, I guess, how much you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Who knows? But it's an innovative product. It's actually active, and there it is, the Human Library. Thank you, Steve. We publish people as open books.
My God, my life's an open book in Denmark.
What would your title be? You could be, I don't think refugee, not unemployed, bipolar, maybe. I suspect you have a little bit of that going on.
How about just prick?
Douchebag.
No, I'm not a douchebag. I'm a prick. It's a big
You're a douchebag in the locker room in WWE.
No, I wasn't. I was a prick.
Brett said it.
He didn't say I was a douchebag.
The Kliq. He specifically said Scott and Kevin. Yeah,
no, that was Warrior.
So like he said it too. What would you be? What could you offer for 30 minutes? You certainly wouldn't want to talk about wrestling, but if you wanted to offer your services here.
Bipolar. I'm a little OCD.
Okay.
Yeah. I could fucking organize your closet by color schemes.
Properly cut up your longboat toilet for disposal.
Brain damaged.
We're just so behind here. I wonder. First of all, in the United States, it would be about a week before there was a story.
Does that guy say deaf and blind?
Yes.
That's got to be an interesting conversation.
Deaf blind. It's actually, they've made it one word. Deaf blind. He's not angry about his situation. He doesn't even get angry with cab drivers that refuse to pick him up. Yeah. How long in the United States, if this happened, how long before the first story of somebody getting murdered, checked out of the library and murdered in Florida, probably.
Right.
Dumped somewhere. Or vice versa. Someone checks out, sex offender and, takes them home to get their story. Yeah. Wouldn't work here. It just wouldn't work. All right. You know what will work is the stiff one of the week this week. And this is one we mentioned a few weeks ago when we were talking about the curtain call. But here are the specifics. This is Jim Cornette on the curtain call and what you did to the business.
I can't help but think if Jim's mentor, Bill Watts, had been in charge, Triple H would have been fired on the spot. Also, would Jim have considered ending HBK's world title reign early because of his role in the incident?
Well, for one thing, you couldn't do anything to Nash or to Hall because that was their last night. That was the whole reason for the thing. It was last night there. What I would have done was because he still had their WrestleMania payoffs. They wouldn't have got a goddamn dime. They wouldn't have got a fucking dime for any fucking pay-per-view money that they were owed after they did that night. That's just right there. And that would have saved Vince a couple $100,000, but he didn't do it. Yeah, I would have fired Hemsley because he was a goddamn underneath fucking mid-card guy at best that wasn't necessarily really getting over at that fucking point like gangbusters. And why the fuck that he would think that he had the status in the community just because he hung around these guys and rode in the car with them and they liked to be, him being around because that way they could preserve their pecking order. Everybody had a little spot. No, I would have fired him. Fuck you. What the fuck? There's a fucking 100 fucking wrestlers that would love to fucking be in Madison. 1,000 that would love to be in Madison Square Garden tonight. And you think that you're suddenly somehow enough of a special fucking motherfucker after you've been here a year, fucking 18 months, that you can go out and expose a business in Madison Square Garden with your butthole fucking buddies on my goddamn dime? No, go home. You're fucking fired.
Okay.
Well, I guess, Jim's a brilliant guy. And I guess he just didn't have the foresight that the other three of us did that Triple H would someday be running the WWE. Secondly, Scott Hall did not work WrestleMania. He said, go fuck yourself. And Goldust had the O.J. Simpson Roddy Piper match. I would have deposed Vince, and with Sean as my witness, have gotten, along with Pat, who was in the room, gotten fucking Vince's, if you guys want to do it, it means that much to you, Sean. It means that I didn't break any fucking rule. I did what I was told to do in the ring as far as the finish. So no, you could not hold my fucking payback. And if it was Jim, I mean, if it wasn't Vince, it wouldn't have been Jim. I mean, it's very easy to, bark at the 6'10" fucking prick when you're not involved in it. But no, I went out and did a fucking a clean job for Taker. I worked my ass off in that match. So.
Well, they brought up Bill Watts, Jim's mentor.
Fuck Bill Watts.
Had Bill Watts been there, you wouldn't have gotten away with that.
So, yeah, what was he going to do? Be a bully? Got his ass fucking beat?
Florida man or Jersey guy? I'm going to give you two headlines.
I'm not done with Cornette.
Yes, you are. We can come back to Jim. I'm sure Jim will make more appearances on here. I like Jim Cornette. I do too. I like Jim.
And they always fucking, that's so fucking, that's probably 20 years ago that fucking clips from. That's the whole way. It's like everybody's like I've said on the podcast. I never agreed with Cornette when when I was working until I got to TNA. It was the end of my career, and we'd be in a room, and there'd be these fucking guys who want to do the spot fest, and me and Cornette would look at each other and go, I don't think we need that much shit right there. Jim would be like, no, I don't think we need that much shit there either. So
good.
No, it's time. As time goes on, man. Like I said, me and Cornette could work together now.
Very good. All right, two headlines.
In Denmark.
Just the coastal cities.
You could talk to us, and we'd be one human.
Florida man, Jersey guy, going to give you two headlines. One, hearse stolen from funeral home by owner's daughter.
Jersey.
Jersey already. Or, man takes 10-year-old son on paintball drive-by, child injured by return gunfire.
Florida.
I got to make these harder, I guess. Is it this obvious?
Nobody. There's not even a hearse in Florida. It's fucking a white country squire fucking 77 fucking station wagon. Fuck, man. It's too fucking hot to bury fuckers down here.
Yeah. A Stratford, New Jersey funeral home. Carrie Zale walked into the open garage at Zale's funeral home on the White Horse Pike Road around noon, took the keys to the Cadillac hearse that Daddy owned for his company, and took a little joyride with it. That's cool, man. I mean, like, who's gonna be able to fucking do donuts with that gimmick unless your dad has it in a garage somewhere?
Are you old enough to remember when the ambulance came to your neighborhood? That it was a fucking it was like a station wagon.
A station wagon. The family truckster Clark Griswold rolls up with the ambulance.
It was, white. Ours was Superior Ambulance on the south side of Detroit.
No, they were vans when I was a kid. They were still like a proper.
No, they were. And I remember one of our friends down at the end of the street, their mom had a stroke. and like they worked on it for a while, and like so when she came out, they didn't have her covered and shit. It was just like one of those post-traumatic. Like it was probably the first dead person I saw in my life, because I was probably 6. She died before my dad.
In Detroit, I would have thought you were stepping over them on the way to school. Yeah. Shit
went fucking awry in 67.
Oh, the riots?
The riots, and then again in 68. When 68, like I said, the day my father died was the day that King got shot. So shit went down again.
Florida man Michael Williams took his son on a paintball gun drive-by, only for the 10-year-old to be shot and wounded by a man who thought his family was in danger. ABC News reports that the 26-year-old father, fucking genius, was asked by his son to drive by a certain house with a paintball gun. When they reached the home, a number of pellets were fired. Homeowner Gregory Barnes believed the paintball shots were real gunfire. Police stated he thought his family was under attack. The man came out and fired, shot at the car.
What was it? So not only were they sophisticated enough to fucking do the drive-by, but they had a silencer? Fucking paintball doesn't make any fucking noise. How the fuck would it thought? I hope that motherfucker did time.
Yeah, I don't know I guess the show. Yeah, you could have had charges. I guess, right? I don't think you walk around firing a paintball gun at anybody. Although, you know what? We talked about this when you were up here. I heard in Japan when pursuits get too
I actually
too hot, they hit the car.
I talked to a guy. I was at the at a car dealership like a week after that, and I was looking at getting my my Mustang painted. There was a Japanese dude in there that clearly was Japanese, and
how?
I mean, I'm just talking about his English was very, he was,
Please give us a little bit of that.
No, I'm not gonna.
Not the how.
I'm not gonna Asian bash, because my best friend growing up was Japanese.
Bash. It's nothing negative.
Yeah, but it's like
you could do Canadian for Pat. Just saying.
Yeah, that's Pat. If I knew what this cat's name was, I'd say that I'd be able to do it.
Throw some silverware on the floor.
This is one of my favorite fucking. I'm so glad that you brought me here. So we would go to Japan. Me and Scott would go to Japan, and we'd be putting a match together with, like, say, Muta and Chono. And Scott would break into this, where he'd go like, okay, right there, you leg screw me, and right time, maybe I'll bump hole. I come back, or maybe you pull, punch you. Like, and he would say it was like this, Hogan's Hero Japanese fucking, and I used to just sit there. I remember one time fucking Muta laid out like 83 fucking things. And I did like they do. I said, but I've been going over here long enough. I'm going to return the favor. So I just fucking like, yeah. We get out there, it's right to the leg screw spot. I'm thinking, I don't know what leg he's doing this on. If he grabs my fucking bad knee, I'm going to end up getting fucking hurt. So I just fucking cut him off, grabbed him by his hair, went over and tagged Scott. He goes, what happened to the rest of it? I said, improvise. I cut him off. Get out of it.
Was Masachono cool?
All those guys, Muta and Chono were great, man. Yeah. When they joined the NWO, fucking, Chono's a cool motherfucker, man. And then, like, I've known Muta, like last time I never worked all Japan until I was like in my mid-50s. When I went over and I worked the spot, it was me and Muta against 2 young guys. And, like, I see Muta's, I remember holding Muta's, like, son when he was just, like, probably 6 months old. And, in walks this kid that's like 6'5", and Muta says, that's my it was really cool because Muta kind of, we had another appearance that Muta and I had to do like the next day. And they showed my Monster Brawl movie that, that fucking just god-awful movie, but,
Showed it where?
I showed it in Japan, and I did like a Q&A.
Oh.
And it was great because Muta had a fucking like a tricked out, like a brand new Mercedes, but it was all in Japanese. And it was like, so like when he put like it was just chill because, you know, I've never been in a Japanese Mercedes before. So I'm just like, oh, fuck, this is cool. Like everything's in Japanese, which it should be.
If there was voice commands, it would speak in Japanese.
Like when it was doing the GPS and all that shit.
Right.
Yeah. Muta's made a little corn in his life, brother.
When you were getting your card done, when you were talking to the dude who was clearly Japanese, somehow you were able to figure maybe something visual. I don't know. But,
I asked him about the paintball thing, and he just looked at me like I have no fucking idea what you're saying. That's how I knew he was probably from Japan.
But it is true. They hit the cars with paintballs in the
not,
middle of the
not according to him.
Well, not the ones he stole. But when you were at the when you were having your Mustang painted, did you talk about Carshield at all?
Oh, you know what? I could because it's still, even though it's an 05, it's underneath the mileage.
Absolutely. Listen, they make it affordable to protect your car from expensive repairs. They are the #1 auto protection company in the U.S., and they offer protection plans for about $100 a month. Okay, the plan's going to cover more parts than ever before, whether your car has 5,000 miles or 150,000 miles. Where are you with the Mustang, Kev? Can we make a call now, maybe to Carshield?
122.
You're good. You are good. Let me tell you how simple it would be. When you need a repair on the Mustang, you would choose the mechanic. Carshield's administrators would handle the rest. You don't have to deal with them, call them, paperwork, headaches, nothing. You're taken care of because you're covered by Carshield. Same goes if your car breaks down, you're stuck on the side of the road. Plans through Carshield also include coast-to-coast roadside assistance. Their administrators are there for you with rental car options, trip reimbursement, and that's at no extra cost for all that, okay? Get your coverage today, okay? Lock in the price now. It'll never go up. You've had your damn Mustang for how long?
17 years.
Right. You lock it in, it never goes up. That means as long as you own the car, no matter how old it is, you're protected from the rising costs of parts and repairs for the vehicle. Carshield helps protect your wallet from expensive car repairs. Go to carshield.com/podcast and start your plan. Lock in your pricing now forever. That's carshield.com/podcast. A deductible may apply. All right, Steve.
I just want to. Oh, okay.
No, you want to come back with it?
No, I was just going to say that it doesn't have to be on the show, but me and T were getting out of the Mustang yesterday, and there was some British guy coming out of a 7-Eleven. He goes, "Nice Mustang, man." Thanks, bro.
It's a pretty over car.
Yeah.
All right, I'm taped up, and I am ready for the Bunkhouse Stampede finally. And fans have been so patient and ready to roll. Got my man Kev here, representing today, by the way, the Detroit shirt. I wanted to shout you out for that. I know you mentioned that before. Did you went away to school? Did you go back to Detroit when you were out?
Yeah. You
did.
Not in the summers. A lot of summers I stayed in Knoxville.
So you go to so you playing basketball in Tennessee. You going to school. Was your family athletic? Like
my sister was a scholarship athlete.
Okay, there you go. You got a brother too?
Yes.
So so you're there, you're in Tennessee, you're playing ball, you're coming back summers. You said, oh no, some summers you said you would stay down there, right?
I never came back to Detroit and worked. I always stayed down in Knoxville because they always could get you a better job doing dick for 3 times the pay because some alumni would pay you.
Right. So like you were, what do I have here? Chicken processing plant? Do I fucking have that correctly?
Yeah, I worked at Harrison Chicken Processing Plant. And the chickens would come in live. They'd fucking hook their feet to this assembly line thing. Like one guy's job was to take their heads and stick it in a gimmick like this. And it pulled them along. And then it was a fucking buzzsaw that took their fucking heads off.
How efficient. And
they went to a room and this fucking hot steam would hit them and their fucking feathers would fall off. And then they would go to a room where the girls would cut it in fryer parts. And then they'd go to a room where they were put on the racks. And then they were sent to me. And there was like these 2 huge, like fucking, you would, like the bank vault in John Wick 1. with the broads in it. Like it was that big, and I'd put all these, I'd roll these giant trays of chicken, and I'd set the fucking Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea view wheel on each of them. Then Brett would press the timer. They'd cook for 43 minutes. I'd go sit on a fucking picnic table, and then when they went off, I'd have to pull them out and take them to this next room. And I only worked, basically 17 minutes out of every hour. But that, as soon as those things opened, it was like 170 degrees. Like you'd have to wait a minute for it, but it was so fucking hot. It was summertime. It was a nasty fucking job.
What did it smell like in that joint?
Fucking, to me, it smelled like fucking, dead chicken and BO.
Mm-hmm.
It
was those were the literal two aromas that you were dealing with there.
Yeah.
So how do you land that? You're in Tennessee at the time, right? You're at school.
Well, I'm making like fucking like $14 an hour doing this.
Back then.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. And there's a lot of times fucking I just don't even show up.
Is that a hookup through the school?
Yeah. Like my girlfriend she worked in Belmead, and she was a lifeguard in Nashville. And I'd go see her. So I'd take off Friday, go see her Friday. Well, after Thursday after work, I'd go see her Friday, Saturday, and drive back Sunday night. And
what else did you do in college?
Work construction.
How'd you have time? You're playing, you're practicing, you have a full road schedule.
Yeah, but in summertime, there's no school.
Oh, you're just talking about summer. Okay.
Yeah. These are just summer jobs. Yeah.
So you said you got thrown out of college. What does that mean?
I smacked my coach.
I was going to say, was that for the coach?
Yeah, and and because he put his hands on me first, they couldn't like get rid of me right then because I'd already lawyered up. They were like, "Fuck." So I got in some more trouble during the spring semester, and then finally at the end, it was like,
do tell.
I was walking across a quad, and I was smoking a joint.
There's that quad again.
Yeah. I blew my quad. And actually, I was inhaling my quad. And some lady walked up to me, student walked up to me, and she goes, "Hey, smoking?" I said, you ever seen a joint before? And I fucking blew smoke on her. She says, "I'm so-and-so. I'm with the Student Disciplinary Corps." So I had to go see Dean Burchett, charge of disciplinary. And I had a hearing, and I was put on probation.
Dean Burchett, played by Jesse Ventura in the film of your life, clearly
Yeah, right.
right here.
Yeah.
Or maybe Bill Watts. I don't know.
"Nash, you can't smoke pot on campus. I have 1,000 dogs.
That wouldn't be consistent. Jesse's probably smoked more pot than anybody in the locker room. You've had an interesting work life before wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And a full one. Because you started, when did you get in the ring first?
So here's the thing. I was talking to my son about this today. Nobody has my fucking story right. This will be the first time my story has ever been told correctly. Will be tonight.
Okay.
This is how everybody has it. I fucking got thrown out of school. I went and played pro ball, blew my knee out, and then went to the military.
Okay.
That ain't possible.
What is...
You ain't fucking tearing fucking your ACL, PCL, and MCL with a bucket handle meniscus tear and fucking going to basic training anytime soon.
So so they're reporting that after you were laid up, you enlisted?
That's the report. And it was on, and I just, it would always be like brought up on shows and shit. And I was just like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to go back, but now that's my show. It's like, I get to tell my fucking story,
Right.
finally. So what happened was, me and a guy named Alan Ashlock had this little business, and we called it, we had business cards and everything. We were the Macho Maids. We'd fucking move furniture. We'd fucking paint. He was like 6'5", played football. And we could go in like an 8-foot ceiling, 3-bedroom fucking little cracker box fucking shithole, 3-room, not 3-bedroom, but 3-room apartment. And we could rifle through that motherfucker in a couple hours with rollers and, he'd cut and I'd fucking do the work. And, but we moved furniture and shit. So we got stoned. This seems to be fucking.
I see a theme.
Yeah.
I know what your library book is going to be called if anyone wants to rent you.
Exactly. But we got stoned and we went and saw Stripes. And laughed my ass off. And we were in the car and I said, we should go fucking join the army. Because I'm kicked out of school, right? I'm like, we should go join the army. So we go to fucking the ROTC, the recruiting place, and fucking, sign the paperwork.
On the heels of Stripes. So you have Stripes
heels
to
of
thank.
Stripes.
The United States Army has Stripes to thank.
So what we got here? Like a 3-year program was perfect for me. I'll come on a lean, mean fucking machine. So now it's time. So I go home. I'm going to go home to Detroit and fucking hang out because I've just signed my life away. No matter what, I know that I'm going to be fucking, my socialization process is going to completely change. I'm no longer going to be a free spirit, man. I'm going to be in the fucking, in the grasp.
Yeah.
And, so of course I show up at my AFES in Detroit and, I do my tests and everything else. And while I'm there, I have to get a waiver because, I'm so fucking tall. You can't be over 6'6". So I got to get a waiver. So a colonel gave me a waiver and, but this motherfucker Alan, he bitches out. He doesn't
join.
No, he didn't go in. I thought it was buddy system. He's like, I'm not going in. I was like, fuck you. So, yeah, it was, interesting. So I went in the army and, it was a good try. It was a good fucking troop. It's not real fucking hard. It's like, make sure your boots are fucking like, look like a mirror. Make sure your fucking locker's fucking tight. Don't get fucking the bullshit brasso. Get real brass so you have to clean, like, all they want you to do is like, guys were getting like these fucking Richard Gere fucking haircuts. It's like, no, man, your drill sergeant wants you to get your shit fucking just high and tight. They want you to shave your fucking head, shave all facial hair. And you got to learn, like you got to be able to adapt. It's just like the strong don't survive as the adaptable fucking species survives. So you just have to adapt. And it was just like, fucking, I dug it, man. I'd sing cadence. They say, Specialist Nash, come out here. And you're in the army now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did all that shit. And I was rocking and rolling, man.
Where were you stationed?
I was in Anniston was basic training, and they had one OST back then. So I was an MP, so I went to MP school in Anniston also, and then I got shipped to Gießen, Germany, to 202 MP company, which was physical security. So we guarded items vital to national security, which now that it's a defunct NATO site, it's items that make fucking mushroom clouds.
You had to wear the little gimmick, right, to monitor the radiation. Yeah. So now you're in Germany. Is that the connection to basketball? You just
I'm walking across by the PX, and the fucking when the colonel's car has like a fucking like the colonel's insignia on the front of the car. And I mean, I'm not talking about the bumper. I'm talking about on the fucking hood of the car.
On the hood, yeah.
Yeah. So when you see it, you fucking stop, and you fucking salute. So fucking car goes by, we fucking salute. Fucking car stops and fucking backs up. Window goes down, he goes, soldier. Or she says, that is you too. And he said, you play ball? I said, yes, sir. I said, where'd you play at? I said, University of Tennessee. He goes, Knoxville? I said, yeah. He goes, who you with? I said, 202 MP. He said, what are you doing today? I said, well, we work 24 on, 48 off. I said, I'm off today and tomorrow. He goes, good. Be at Miller Hall at 4 o'clock. There's basketball practice. I said, I don't have any shoes. He said, what size are you? I said, 15s. He goes, there'll be shoes there for you. So I went down. I was out of shape as fuck. It wasn't in ball shape, but it took me, a couple of weeks. And on top of that, I really pushed. Like they have what they call a road guard. So when you're running PT, you have to go and you have to, if you're running in a formation as a company, like you have to run up to the fucking, the next, like crossing of a street, and you got the fucking, like the thing where they bring the fucking planes in, but you got one of them. So you fucking run it in place, and the whole company runs by you, and then you got to fucking sprint to the fucking top, to the front, up by the
to pass everybody
to pass everybody to get for the next fucking next. So you volunteer for that, which means you're busting your ass instead of that fucking little monkey trot. You're busting your ass, and I just got myself in shape, and I started lifting again, and next thing you know, I was basically playing ball. I was playing a lot during the season. I was playing ball, and then I was the leading scorer in Fifth Corps, and we played some of the teams around the area that were the pro teams, and I always played well against them. And I started like when I had maybe 6 months left. I started playing for a team in Croftdorf, and I was getting paid. I was getting paid military, and I was getting paid under the table.
So you can work professionally as an athlete while you're still.
You're not supposed to. I was getting paid under the table, but
okay.
But I had the perfect schedule. So because we always, it was like 2 on, 1 off, but like every third rotation you'd be off. Like you wouldn't work that shift on, so you'd have 2 off, miss that shift, 2 off, and then go back. So you'd have 5 days. So a lot of times and it was funny how the colonel made sure that, as long as I was playing for his team, my other shit fucking all fell into place too.
It all kind of worked out for you.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. So then we were playing, I de-roast. I got out and went to Frankfurt. I had to sit in the Frankfurt embassy and get my passport. And then when I got out, I took the train back to Gießen, and they took me around, and they made me basically like, they gave me a place to stay, an apartment, which was sweet. It was like, it had an elevator. It was on like the 9th floor, had a big balcony, and I got a car, and they paid me a decent salary, and but they made me go around and like start my electricity and all that shit, just so I could get accustomed to start speaking German.
Mm.
So,
how many Americans are on the teams in that league? Is it? Oh, you were the only American
back then. It was one, yeah.
Wow.
But we had another American guy that if you married a German national, then you could be you were like a dual. So we actually had a guy from Spain also on our team, 6'7" guy. That was Bachfisch, really good player.
See, I thought, and maybe this was just later on, like in the 90s, when I would hear guys get drafted to go play ball in Europe, I thought it was a fairly common thing that there were a lot of Americans.
Yeah, there'd be 2 or 3 on a team back then.
Oh, okay. See, that's not as many as I thought.
Yeah.
What about the crowds? What kind of crowds was it drawing?
I mean, it just depended. Like we were kind of a shit team.
Okay.
So, but as my first season went on, we became a lot better. And so I keep getting things where they keep saying that they can't hear me. So I need to probably get close to the microphone.
Lean in.
Yeah, they say, I can hear Sean fine, but Nash I can never fucking hear. So, but, yeah, so we made the European Cup my first year. We got knocked out, and then I made the European Cup my second year. And like an asshole, we were playing a team I knew we were going to beat because we had beaten them in the regular season. And I said, fuck it, man. It's leg day. I'm going to fucking do legs. And I squatted. Nothing. I mean, I was like 405 for 12 was my heavy set. But I used to squat like high bar with my fucking feet together. And so I went up. Ball came off the back of the rim. I went up with my right hand and dunked it. And I saw a guy coming, so I reached up with my left hand and grabbed the rim, and I kind of swung. And as I was coming back, I kept my hand, I let go. When I did, there was a guy standing underneath me, and my foot, if you imagine this being somebody's knee, my foot hit here, and then my leg went this way. So when I look,
so your foot lands on his knee.
So yeah, so when I look down at my leg's like this,
going off to the side,
like off to the fucking. It's like
at the knee.
Yeah, and this fucking guy comes out like I've got a foul tip, and he's spraying that fucking freeze shit on me, and I'm watching my knee fucking get the size of a cantaloupe in about 30 seconds, and I'm looking at him, and all of a sudden it's just like because now I'm in shock. I could speak pretty good German. I could understand a lot more. Sprechen not so good, but verstehen, yeah, I could understand some fucking German. And it sounded like Charlie Brown's fucking parents. I mean, next thing you know, I'm in the hospital and they fucking stick a needle in the side of my leg, like a 20 or probably an 18 gauge. And they had a syringe that was probably 30 or 40 cc's, and they just pulled purple blood off that motherfucker. And I've already straightened my leg and put it in an air splint on the way, in the ambulance. And basically the only thing holding my knee together was my skin.
Before the injury, though, were you getting some like NBA attention or any opportunities to play back in the States? Or I was content?
I was probably definitely going to get to go to somebody's camp. You know, I'd get a free agent tryout.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I was kind of like, I was perfect for that era because I was kind of the bangers where every team had like a fucking, you know, some brute that fucking was basically there to fucking fight. So I was kind of perfect for that. So like, you know, but most of the guys like in that era, like Jeff Rulin was my age. And Jeff Rulin he played at Iona. He was a baller too. And he could fucking shoot. He could, you know, he was just a hell of a ball player. And,
now, it doesn't end there for you, though, with basketball, because you do rehab the leg. I mean, it doesn't work out, but you're not done with that injury. You do come back.
Well, I mean, I come back, but I don't come back to work and play. I never come back to work and play.
Oh, I thought you were on the court again. Okay, no.
No. So from there, they've, you know, and it's just like, I go down to Munich, some guy this is back when they opened you up. Like when it was something severe, they didn't do none of this fucking scope shit. So I've been opened up twice at this point. So, and they're putting me in a cast, which is the worst thing you can do because, you know, all you do is atrophy.
Atrophy the whole leg.
Yeah.
Right?
So my leg looks like my forearm. So, this is when I go see Dr. Taiji in Detroit, who had put together Billy Sims after Sims got destroyed. Sims didn't make it back to the Lions, but it was close enough. And I was thinking at this point, I just wanted to be functional. So I had he did an osteotomy, which was kind of cutting edge, but I think it was an adjustment because I ended up having a really bad internal valgus in my knee. And, but while I was doing this, I went ahead and got a job on the assembly line. Like once I got to where I could fucking get you know, move around on it, and I was doing leg presses and shit. And they'd already done the ACL and PCL. They'd already fixed both of those, MCL. So I just had to strengthen the leg, but it was just, you know. So I worked the assembly line, and then
back in Detroit.
Yeah, in Detroit.
Okay.
Excuse me. So Was that loud?
Is that Ford?
It was American Sunroof Corporation, but we were doing, we were putting the sunroofs on Jeep Grand Wagoneers and the Lincoln Town Cars. So I was working on the Town Car line. So I was cutting the holes, and doing this and doing the spot welding.
So you get your UAW card?
We're actually, for some reason, we were Teamsters.
And really, you weren't driving?
No, we were Teamsters.
Okay,
it was a Teamster shop. Yeah. So I did that, and then I started. A buddy of mine said, "Hey, there's a place on Wednesday nights called Nello's. It's a rock and roll club, and they're having like a lot of fights and shit. They're looking for somebody to work Wednesday nights. It pays $150 cash." So I'm like, "Fuck, I'll do that." So I'm leaving work on Tuesday, and basically going back to work on Wednesday. Or I'm working. No, it's
Wednesday night.
I leave work Wednesday, go to Nello's, and then come back Thursday
morning
in the same fucking clothes. Like fuck it, and then I fucking get a job at BT's on Michigan Avenue, which is the fucking strip joint of Detroit at the time.
Oh.
So
let me stop you before we get too far. I want to ask you: did you ever want to continue something in basketball, coaching, or doing something in as a trainer?
You know
or
what?
something?
Like I'm one of those people that if I can't, I'm not going to play golf if I can't really be good at it. And I knew I'd never fucking,
You need the number one podcast in order to do a podcast.
I mean, but if we weren't successful, I don't think I'd want to, Yeah. If I had a 1-inch dick, I'm sure I fucking wouldn't be, hey, let me get some of that.
So okay, so you're at BT's.
Yeah, I'm at BT's, and now I'm working Friday and Saturday there, and I'm making more bouncing than I am fucking working on the assembly line. And whatever the fuck I was, 26, 27 years old, whatever I was.
Cash,
I think it's 26
too, right?
Cash. And, any guy that's worked at a fucking high-end gentleman's club, motherfucker, you ain't late for work. I promise you ain't late for work. What are you doing here? You're off today. I am? I mean, it's just like...
How many guys? But it was a big club, you said, right? It was like the premier club. So
I mean, yeah, it was good. It was good. I mean, it wasn't huge, but I mean, the talent was fucking outstanding.
How many guys are on duty? How many bouncers would you need at the club to keep law and order?
I think we had 3.
Would it get out of hand?
Every once in a while. I mean, somebody gets handsy or fucking, there's always it's usually big fucking bachelor parties are fucking horrible. You got to, you learn early in life, man, to cut those motherfuckers off as soon as possible.
You could usually, I would imagine, being 6'10" or whatever the fuck you are, you could usually avoid a confrontation just by your presence, appearing before somebody who's maybe getting a little out of hand,
Unless
right?
they're fucking 6'6",
yeah.
300,
How often did they get physical? Often?
It ain't like fucking Detroit's full of a bunch of fucking pussies. Everybody fucking thinks they can go.
Right.
Especially, but the thing is, if you're decent with your hands, and I got to fucking, I use my feet. Like, I'm not afraid to fucking just front kick you and cave your knee and backwards. Fucking hit you with a mag light on the way down. Like, I didn't have a problem with that back then. And it wasn't like you got sued. You fucking picked them up by the back of their fucking pants and the back of their collar and threw them out in the fucking street and waited for the fucking cops to come get them. And then I'm pressing charges.
You, were you able to date any of the women? Or was this,
well, I mean, you got to know how to play that game. I mean, if you start, That's one of the places where you don't shit where you eat, man, because your life is all about the tip out. And if they find out that you got somebody in there that you're romancing, that fucking tip out's going to go to nothing. So
is that true? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you say the tip out, explain the tip out, meaning that
the girls tip out. I mean, everything. The DJ gets tipped out. The bouncers get tipped out. You also get shift pay. Oh, my shirt's fucking crooked here. Fix this thing. You get shift pay, which like maybe it might be $75 on a check, and then everything else is cash. A place like that, like on a Friday, Saturday night, when we might get $1,300 tip out between three guys.
Yeah,
yeah.
This is 80s money, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
This is fucking
mid 80s.
Turbo Cougar.
Turbo Cougar? Is that a vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. So there you are. You're working BTs. What's your competition in town? What's the other club?
I mean, really, back at the time, it was the Booby Trap, which they owned.
Oh, so
that's why it was BTs. The Booby Trap was up on 8 Mile. Yeah, the Booby Trap was up on 8 Mile. So that was the fucking, but they still had talent, but it was rough. There was some other places like Subies and King Henry VIII. I don't know when the landing strip opened up out by the airport, but I think that was, I don't remember that. And then later on, BT's owner, I think his name was Paul. Fuck. I'm sorry, man. I can't remember. I'm old. But it was funny that Paul got married and got divorced and bought the house next to his wife's and put a big, giant, like 12-foot middle finger pointed at her house.
When you have that Booby Trap money, you can build such silly things, can't you?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. The Booby Trap.
Then
the landing strip.
Yeah,
that's a good one. The names of these are tremendous. There's one by me when I was growing up, the Naval Base, NAVEL. I always thought a missed opportunity with one of those places was Come On Back. I never saw. That's what I would have named mine, I think.
Yeah.
So there you are. You're bouncing. Are you a wrestling fan?
Hulk, when he came to Joe Louis, that was a Hogan mark.
Any of the boys end up in BTs?
Nah. David Brenner one night. That motherfucker, man, he had a nose, and boy, he could fucking pack that bitch, I tell you that.
Oh, with substance, yeah.
Oof.
Did he tell you had great comedic timing? Oh, that was later.
Matter of fact, I think he did.
He did. So, this is not a skanky club. This is one of the nicer ones.
It's just Tux. So you wear the Tux.
Okay. Now, how do you get to Atlanta? I'm going to cover all your jobs before wrestling. Let's cover it all.
I'll just give you the short version. Couple of guys come in that we call the Baptist Mafia. They offer me a job to come down to Atlanta to just kind of be muscle. I take the job.
Muscle for what? A gambling operation? Bookmaking, maybe?
Racketeering.
Okay.
So, much to the chagrin of me, when our office gets hit by the FBI, they actually do have the blue fucking blazers with the yellow FBI on it. And the flashbangs go off, and I look up, and there's a black dude with a fucking shotgun pointed right at my head. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck. And I got an unregistered in my top desk drawer. I got an unregistered fucking 911 45 caliber pistol and 3 clips and like a fucking big bag of fucking like roids. I'm like,
this is in Atlanta.
Yeah. So,
how long before you're working for these guys does this happen?
Maybe. So I get to Atlanta and I'm working at this place called the Muscle Factory on Johnson Ferry Road. That's where I'm working out at. I'm like the new guy in town. Everybody knows this big fucking guy's from Detroit. So, and there's a lot of like drug wars going on with different dealers and shit. That's like the cocaine fucking wars in Atlanta. And everybody's trying to like recruit me to be, you know, one of their boys. I mean, there's fucking murders that go down and all kind of shit. I mean, it was crazy. It was like a soap opera. Even one of the guys was Kevin Pappas. I think he ended up writing a book, and I think that he almost got picked up for a fucking film. Pappas was one of the fucking big dealers.
Greek? What, were the Greeks running things down there? Pappas?
Yeah.
That's Greek.
Yeah.
Greek drug dealer. All right, go ahead.
And then so I ended up getting arrested, and you know, like anything in life, if you keep your mouth shut, everybody will roll. And I fucking, you know, I walked out of jail 93 days later, and there was a guy named Peter Both that had been involved in giving me a summons one other time to court during this ordeal. And they basically, a guy came in, his name was Doyle Alexander, and he basically set this up. And he, I walked out, and Peter Both was there, and they said they had a job at the Cheetah for me. So I walked in. I said, "Is Jeff here?" He said that he's up by the stage. I walked in, saw that guy named Jeff, talked to Arthur. They said, "When can you start?" And I said, "Well, when do you need me?" They said, "How about tomorrow?" I went and fucking got a tuxedo, brought it back to the house mother, had her fucking size it and hem it up for me. Went to Ugly Duckling and got a fucking rental car. And went through my Rolodex, because you had one back then.
Right.
And found somebody that I could shack up with until I got on my feet.
You do 93 days in jail?
Yeah.
And they give you the job when you come out because you kept your mouth shut. So it was like they were
No,
taking care of you.
because I wasn't a fucking asshole. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I was just muscle. I just hung out with these guys, man. It wasn't like I was fucking, you know, part of the fucking the master fucking mind or anything.
Okay.
Wrong
So you're at
place,
the
wrong
Cheetah?
time.
The Cheetah Club.
Yep. So I go to the Cheetah, and I started working there, and before you know it, I'm pretty high up. Like when the time came for them to get it, the manager got leukemia, and he didn't look like he was gonna make it. They were looking, you know, for a replacement, and I was brought in and talked to, and they kind of, you know, told me what he was, you know, what his salary was. I'm thinking, fuck that, man. I ain't taking a pay cut, because I was fucking making bank. Because at the time I was working on a day shift, and I was getting $75 shift pay. A lot of times I would manage day shift, and then I had built up on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, having about 50, 55 girls, sometimes 60 on Friday and Saturday. And basically the minimum tip out was $5. Yeah. So I was making, you know, and I was working 6 days a week. I was working 100 out. And then I would on Saturday nights, I would work the day shift. Then I'd go to a place called the Avenue, which was kind of like the fucking Roadhouse place. It was like a happening club, but there's fucking fights in there every fucking night. And Bagwell was always fucking causing trouble in there when he was just fucking, you know, just a street kid, you know.
Who?
Bagwell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bagwell was always, he was always just causing trouble. Smacked some dude right in front of me and poured a drink on some girl. I'm like, Mark, come on, man. Go home. So.
Why'd you ever leave that job? That kind of money?
Because fucking Barry Windham came in there, and I fucking knew him, and Barry said, "Hey, man, you should get in the business. Big as fuck. You got a good look." And I was just like, I said, "Yeah, what do you make?" He said, "Fuck, I make it." He's a minimum $250, and I'm like, "That's serious money." So,
and that was it.
Then
wrestling began. Now, of those 55 to 60 dancers that would be working Friday and Saturday, how many did you smash? A quarter?
No, fuck no. No.
Hanging out, closing time, walking to their car. No,
nope,
nothing.
No, man. If you, I mean, it's just like I said, man. Nash is never going to be a problem if you got game. I mean, if you can, if you're an expert fisherman, are you really going to go to a fucking loaded trout pond and fucking throw your no, man. You want to be at the end of the fucking boat trying to catch a tarpon while you're stowing.
All right, back with Kliq This, Kevin Nash podcast. Hashtag Ask Nash. Every week, we want to know what is on your mind. We take the nice stuff. We take the challenging questions. We take it all. Motley Kliq says, after the brief chat on Make-A-Wish, I want to ask, what other charities does Nash support? I will give $250 to one of his choice. Wow, okay. So this is important now. Who is Motley Kliq going to donate $250 in your name to?
Either American Heart Association, I do Cancer Association because of my mom, and St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Very good. All right, take your pick there, Motley Kliq. Those are three very, very worthwhile.
But with those cute little kids, I might go Shriners.
Shriners Hospital?
Yep. That's my son's favorite.
NWO for life. I could never understand the fascination of punk. Typical phony tough guy. Couldn't punch his way out of a wet paper bag. I would have loved to see the big man booked to beat the shit out of him at a pay-per-view. Why didn't the match happen?
Yeah, you want to hear? I swear to you. So I thought I was one and done. They asked me to come out, stick him, and be gone. So the next show, they fucking. This is when he does the laugh out loud. My sister just texted me, laugh out loud. I thought he was dead. I have no verbiage. I'm told not to say anything. So as soon as he says that, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, I cost you the world title. And you come down and fucking, you come through the curtain, but you stand fucking 250 feet away from me. Like, you don't come down and attack me.
Right.
You verbally attack me? I just cost you the fucking world title. And I'm thinking of going to myself, like, and if me and Paul didn't have the relationship that we had, and I know that Paul was instrumental in bringing me back, and it's always nice to fucking, I don't care who you are, what you're doing, it's always nice to put the pinstripes on. It's always nice to be a Yankee. So I say to myself, don't do it, because I'm thinking to myself, like, what if I say, you know what? I'm scripted not to say anything, but you know what? I really don't care. I mean, I really don't care, and start walking out of the ring. Because you know what? If it was me, see, I would have came down here because you cost me the world title, but obviously you're a bitch. I said, so if this was real life, I'd be trading your ass for cigarettes in prison. And then just walk up there and say, when I get up here, I said, I'm going to smack you in the face as hard as I can. So know that. I mean, and granted, I mean, my old ass is going to take some time, clickety click, the old fucking knees and everything else. But when I get up there, I'm going to smack you in the fucking, so either you fucking apologize to Mr. Nash, or I'm going to smack you in the fucking mouth, or we can go. But I don't think any of the fucking the first two or the last two are going to fucking work out for you very well. And I just thought to myself, like, you know what? After all these years in the business, that's exactly what you should do, is be completely unprofessional. Be a fucking douchebag. Never go in the Hall of Fame because you fucking went to business for yourself. I'm just like, fucking man, it's just fucking pro wrestling. Like I read a guy today. I'm not even going to give him fucking, I'm not even going to give him a mention to his name, but I read and it was just like something about nobody kicked out of, like only one person kicked out of my finish or something like that. I'm thinking to myself, like, are you fucking kidding me?
A worker said this.
Yeah.
No one ever kicked it.
Nobody, only one person, more people kicked out of Austin's finish than they did mine. I'm thinking, you do know this is fucking work, right? Like,
Careful, don't say that F word.
Yeah, I'm not going to say fake. No, that's fine. I trained chest today. My shoulder fucking said, hey, how big was that fucking wrestling, Nash, you fucking tool?
The Wolverine, $9.99. Can you get Kevin to shoot on Bill Watts? I've always been fascinated by a story that Nash dressed down Watts at a cage match with Yokozuna in the WWF days. We told this on air, didn't we?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Did anyone else have heat with Watts? Was Watts really a bully? Did anyone else have heat with Watts?
I mean,
everybody had issues with Watts.
Yeah, I think really, is there anybody that liked him?
Keith Hellebrand, ever play ball with other wrestlers while on the road? If so,
yes.
Who can play well? Also, my dad Keith was the WCW and TNA pyro guy. Did you know Keith, the pyro guy?
I'm sure. I mean, if he walked in this room right now, I'd know I'm horrible with names, but right. I don't forget faces.
So, who could play ball?
So we're at the first King of the Ring, and we're at the Nutter Center in Dayton, and they got a couple of ball courts next to the. So Taker and me are we're gonna be the captains, and we're gonna pick our squads. So I, like a fucking fool, pick Virgil. You know, I'm thinking,
assuming that all stereotypes are in place.
Right. I'm thinking like, okay, brother's got to have some game, right? Fucking worst athlete ever.
I was going to say, see him in the ring? Come on.
Last guy picked in gym class at an all-white Catholic school. I mean, like, fuck. I love him to death, man, but it was just like, but I think I had Billy Gunn. I think Billy Gunn can fucking, he can play. I actually did dunk on Taker, fucking baseline, 2 hands. Taker had a nice touch off. He was like a nice touch off glass. Yeah. I could see that Taker's a good athlete anyway, but
how about Yoko?
I think Yoko was Yoko was smoking cigarettes.
Just watching.
Yeah.
James Prentice, how and when did you get this I don't give a fuck attitude? It seems no matter what anyone says about you, you just let it go and don't retaliate. I love this mindset, and I want to adopt it in my life. This is my new favorite podcast. So you could have a guru, like a Tony Robbins type
yeah, but see, it's
teaching people how to...
Okay, number one, you have to get... you have to lose your dad at 8 years old. And then you have to have fucking like civil unrest in your city for 2 fucking years. So that's key. Those 2 things are key. So at that point, you don't know whether or not somebody's going to kick in your door and fucking murder your whole family, and you're 8. So it's not like you can do a fucking whole hell of a lot. I mean, you know, there's only so many kitchen knives to go around. So that's number one. Number two, you get the push of your life. You're going to become the world champion, and your mom is dying of breast cancer. And I became world champion, I want to think November the 24th. My mom passes December 27th. So for 1 month and like 2 fucking days is my fucking title reign, and then my mom fucking passes.
Mm-hmm.
So so at that point, tell me you fucking care. You know? Tell me you fucking, wait, why do I care? Oh, you're a goof. Oh, you're this. Oh, how about your quad? Oh, you said adjective. Oh, I'll make up something about you, you know. And that's another thing that pissed me off about that summer of '92 thing is There are people out there, man, that fucking are fucking raped. I mean, it's like every day. And the majority of it's fucking some freaky uncle with some 8-year-old girl or some shit. Some shit that just fucks up society. And people want to make fucking that's a joke. Survivor, victor. Fuck you. That's nothing to make joke about. Fucking rape is not a joking fucking matter. So
why do you think your face got put on? Is that because people view you as too liberal and they were doing that whole Me Too? Because they do reference the Me Too on that poster, right? So is that a commentary on your politics?
Yeah. Well, it sure is funny how, and now we've had a week to digest this. The FBI agents did not raid the house. The FBI agents served a warrant. They didn't knock on the door, kick the door in. Fucking, they told the Secret Service they were coming. Secret Service knew they were coming. Trump was gone. So let's just say what it was. So a week's gone by. He has the fucking search warrant. He knows exactly what they're looking for. He knows exactly why they were there. Why should fucking the attorney general have to tell it? Why doesn't, if Trump's fucking not guilty of anything, why doesn't he say, this is what these motherfuckers, I forgot who it was the other day that said, like, if you had a search warrant and said that I had 10 kilos of fucking coke and you came through my house and you didn't find 10 kilos of coke, you don't think I'd be on the fucking scrimmage? I think it was Bill Maher. It's just like, and that's
you actually said that last week too, though. You said
this
is a great opportunity. Obviously, he's innocent and there's nothing in the vault.
So 2 days later, he goes to New York on this fucking this business fraud situation, tax evasion, everything else. Fucking Ivanka and Donald Jr. fucking both give testimony. He pleads the fifth fucking for 30 hours.
After having said in 2016 in Iowa, why would anyone take the fifth if they're not guilty?
But now I know why, because
it's like
now I know why, because it's a witch hunt. And then they showed like on it was even he's pushed the boundaries so far that it being like Fox has to kind of go like, all right, that kind of fucking fishy.
Yeah, young Murdoch is said to, the report I read today is that behind the scenes is not very fond of what's been going on the last few years with Donald. So it'll be interesting where they go with their coverage and their endorsements in the coming months, coming year.
But they said he was using this for campaign. Who's to say fucking anybody's writing a check? Maybe somebody's saying, you know what, fucking DeSantis looks a lot fucking stronger right now. Maybe I'll write a check for Ron.
Could be. Kayfabe is asking
Florida
you.
Man.
Florida, yeah. He's the fucking leading the charge, Florida man in Tallahassee there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fourth Reich.
Got two impressions out of you. We got Hop Sing earlier, and now we have Adolf. Kayfabe asks, who would win in a fight, Oz, Vinny Vegas, or Master Blaster Steel?
Master Blaster Steel was gassed to the fucking gills. The other two guys were clean little bitches. And Master Blaster was a motherfucker. I actually fucking showed up at the Cheetah. This is a good story. So Bill Haygood owned the Cheetah for fucking forever, and I was like, he asked me to help him move one time, and so I showed up. And I helped him move with two other, he had his two sons. So I helped him move. And at the end of the day, he went to peel off a couple of hundred, like maybe $500. And I just looked at him and I said, you asked me to help you move, man. You didn't fucking say you're paying me. I said, you give me a fucking good job. If you take care of me. I said, we're good, man. And that just stuck in his mind to the point where I said, fuck it, man. I'm not starting for like 3 weeks. you know, and I was only getting like $17.50 a week when I broke in wrestling. And I'm thinking like, fuck, I could be making fucking, you know, $2,500, $3,000 a week back at the fucking club for these next 3 weeks. I want to take a pay cut, you know, anyway, getting in this fucking shit business. So, you know, I might as well fucking make it while I can. So I show up with that fucking that fuchsia mohawk at the fucking club in my tuxedo for my shift. Fucking Haygood's up in VIP. I see him walking towards me, and as he's walking towards me, I see him fucking start to fucking smile. He looks at me and goes, "Only you could pull that off, Nash." I said, "Is it cool?" He goes, "Fuck yeah, ain't gonna be nobody gonna fuck around here the next couple of weeks." And I fucking sported that fucking mohawk.
Excellent.
You know.
Glenn, what are your thoughts of the late Andrew Test Martin? You guys were good friends, and you seemed upset by his passing. Did you ever see him going into the Hall of Fame?
He was talented, man. He was a stud. He my son and I went to a WrestleMania with him. That was actually Sean's last match. And you know, my son actually got close with him. So that was like, I think that was the first wrestler that passed that my son had a relationship with, that I had a relationship. It tore my heart. I mean, he was just, you know, he was like my young boy, you know. It's just like he was going to carry the I don't give a fuck torch, you know, after I was gone. Yeah. But fucking it didn't work out so good. But yeah, he was dating Kelly at the time, and Christian was you know, Christian and his wife were we tried to do some interventions and shit, and we thought we had him a couple times go in the right direction, but it was just tough.
Where did he live? Did he live near
Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah. What a heat-seeking missile that motherfucker was, man. It's like 6'6", and he bought a vet. I'm like, what the fuck?
This is childhood fantasy. Leave him alone.
When we were kids in Detroit, man, if the guy had a vet, you go like this.
Too soft.
Yeah. No, too
hard.
Too blue chewed hard.
Cliff Booth has the question of the night, maybe of the series so far.
Oh, God.
Joints or blunts?
Blunts. Honey blunts.
There you go. There's the official stamp of approval. And what more to say? I mean, that's where you got to end it, right? I mean, that's the perfect.
Yeah, blunts over anything.
Perfect way over that. Where do you stand on edibles? Too long? The delivery system is too long?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you a quick little story about my fucking, my very short run into the fucking drug cocaine.
Okay.
So they lay out some cocaine.
Where? When? What is this?
This is fucking my freshman year of college.
Oh, okay.
And fucking, you know, I do a fucking, you know, decent size, like maybe, yeah, but this is back when, you know, like the whole cocaine thing was, you know, you took the mirror down and one guy sat there for fucking 7 hours and did like this fucking, you know, it looked like Etch-a-Sketch. Like every line was the same weight and, you know, you could do 3, brother. So I fucking, you know, I do 3. He goes, "You're a big guy. Do a couple more." All of a sudden that shit starts dripping down my throat. And I'm like, oh, fuck, man. That's intense. Fuck, man. Fuck, I feel strong. So a man should feel. It's exactly how a man should fucking feel. Except if he's got fucking severe anxiety. Ah! How long is this gonna last? Motherfucker. I'm fucking drinking fucking bourbon out of a bottle. I'm like, fuck this, man. My chest was just, I'm thinking, oh, man, fucking, I mean, I went completely to the please God don't take me. I won't fuck with this shit again. I spend my fucking whole life trying to get the landing gear fucking down. I don't want to fucking pull the landing gear up in my ass.
I was gonna say it's not the up that you need. It's the
I need
down.
I'm a fucking I'm psychotic. I need fucking horse tranquilizers.
Well, there it is. That's God damn it though. The Bunkhouse Stampede, Kev. Again. It was just too good. We were rolling, man. We were rolling. I wanted to hear about your life before wrestling, your careers before. Maybe next week. How about next week? We'll say next week, Bunkhouse Stampede.
Because we've got to cut. We can't talk this Czechoslovakia thing's fucking. It's starting to fucking pull the show in a different direction.
I know. Well, all right. So maybe we'll get the references to Bulgaria out of the way early, and then we can stay with the Bunkhouse Stampede. Maybe I guess. I might gig somewhere. Where'd I put my gig?
I actually got fucking. I got us a fucking advertisement with Viking.
The longboats, Viking longboats.
Yep. Coastal Czechoslovakia, 1999.
Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat. Producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2022 Butch and Sundance Media. Kevin, you want to do another one?
What do you think, Scott? Want to do another one? Survey says yes. One more for the good guys.